Democrats have finally acknowledged what we all knew, which was that Joe Biden was mentally unfit to lead. Let's talk about it. So I was on CNN last night and I was debating about this breaking news that's been coming out, dripping like crazy. All these former aides of Joe Biden can't help themselves but talk about what everybody knew when we saw that debate with Biden and Trump. And many of us knew it before the debate when we saw Joe Biden on stage meandering, looking confused, shaking hands of people who weren't really there, talking about people who had died several years ago. We knew something was wrong, and yet Democrats and the mainstream media told us, don't believe your eyes. Everything's fine. This is some crazy, wonky conspiracy theories coming from Republicans. Just take a look at this clip from CNN.
And so should his advisors. I mean, talk about a big cover-up. I mean, we've been talking a lot about Donald Trump lately. I just want to ask a simple question. Who in the heck was running the country? If the president's mental acuity was in question and some days he's on and some days he's off, was the guy really capable of doing the job day to day? I honestly really question that. And I think a lot of Democrats who said at the time, oh, Joe Biden is the fittest guy in the world. He could do backflips. He could jump into the pool, run marathons, do 100 push-ups. When every freaking person who saw Joe Biden said, there's no in hell this guy is physically fit. But they told us, don't believe your lying eyes because we're with him every single day. That wasn't true.
One more piece,
it wasn't true.
Just so people understand it.
Don't believe your lying eyes, but what do we have here? What we already knew. What we already knew. The stability and the sanctity of the highest office in our land was covered up. It was covered up. So we only discovered behind the curtain, we had a president who was too tired to stand and too confused to lead. And when the president of the United States is, as his own chief of staff once described, fatigued, befuddled, and disengaged, when he's trading policy briefings for poolside lounging during crucial election cycles, by the way, well, someone is filling that void. And the question, my friends, is who? I mean, Ron Klain, Biden's former chief of staff, didn't whisper this in some smoke-filled back room. No, he made it plain. The man behind the resolute desk wasn't resolute at all. He was, let's call it what it is, unfit. And then you've got Carl Bernstein, a man whose name still echoes from the Watergate days, reporting that Biden's decline wasn't a one-off gaffe or bad debate night. No, 15 to 20 separate instances, he says. That's not a fluke. That's a pattern. So I'll ask a question that no one in Washington or in the media dares to whisper out loud. If the president wasn't running the country, then who in the hell was? Was it Joe Biden? Was it Ron Klain? Was it Susan Rice? Was it some nameless aide buried in the West Wing bureaucracy? Because I'll tell you this, when the leader of the free world is mentally checked out, someone else checks in and they start calling the shots, making the decisions and wielding power with no vote cast and no accountability given. That is not democracy. That is a silent coup dressed up in khaki slacks and bureaucratic memos. The American people were misled. No, actually deceived about the capacity of the man that half of the country voted for to lead. And even if we didn't vote for him, he still was the president of our country. That is not just a lapse in judgment or communications failure. That is, in my opinion, the greatest and gravest scandal since Watergate. And I would argue it may very well even surpass it because at least Nixon, knew what he was doing when he was trying to deceive the public. He was mentally checked in, whether it was right or wrong. I think it was wrong, by the way. Here we have a president who may not have even known what was being done in his own name. This isn't just a crisis of leadership, it's a crisis of legitimacy. If Biden wasn't calling the shots, we need to know who was. And if those decisions were made without constitutional authority, then we're not merely looking at a massive scandal that was covered up and until now purposefully ignored by the media. We're looking at something much worse. So what do we need now? We need accountability. We need hearings, we need subpoenas, and we need names. We need to know who sat in the Situation Room while the commander-in-chief was staring blankly into the walls of the Oval Office, confused. It's clear there was a cover-up here. In rooms where decisions are made by people we didn't elect, doing things we were never told. I'll leave you with this. If the president isn't running the country is being run by someone. And that is more terrifying than anything else. We need to know what happened. It is time for transparency and the truth. I'm sure Michael Singleton. Thanks for watching this episode. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're watching us on YouTube, and hit that notification bell for so much more. Head on over to We the Free, that's WTF.tv, for more uncensored commentary on politics and culture and so much more. Thanks for watching.